All right, throughout my timeline and for the last couple of weeks right now, I've been seeing this thing about this post about how Generation Y and people of my generation don't really contribute to society and things of that nature. So I assume that she's talking about people 30 and under, which I am. I'm about 28. And that we're rude and things of that nature. For example, just let me show you. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, the intelligent young lady who brings up some very good points. I will not deny her that, but I feel like it's kind of generalized. So I just kind of created a list of what I think about what she said. Let's start.
If you guys have anyone on your social media like I do that's over the age of 40, you've probably seen them post something
Hair
about
is
how
always
much our
sticking
generation
up.
sucks. Well, as a millennial, I took it upon myself to try to evaluate what's so wrong with our generation and why they're so mad at us.
What's wrong with our generation?
And I pretty much realized that we're just existing. We're not really contributing anything to society. Our generation does.
Pause. We're not really contributing anything to our society. I believe she posted this on Facebook originally. And if she didn't, it's on Facebook. And that's what got her a lot of these views. Facebook and social media. So it's kind of ironic that the thing that she criticized is what helped her, was what also helped launch her into fame. And she said that we're not really contributing anything to society. Well, a short Google search had led me to these things. One, Anthony Hallman created a pacifier with a built-in thermometer. Esha Care created a device that can charge your cell phone within 20 seconds. Param Jaggi invented a thing that could turn CO2 into oxygen while you drive. And these are all teenagers. So it's not like we're not contributing to society. Perhaps you just have a messed up view or perspective of this generation.
Doesn't have the basic manners that include no ma'am and yes ma'am. We don't even hold the door open for ladies, much less our elders anymore.
I
We
do.
listen to really obscene music that degrades women and pretty much glorifies drugs and crime. We start to cuss now to prove a point. We use words like bae to...
All right, look. The whole sex and drugs and crime and glorifying it, I'm not going to tell you when that started. That's older than I am. I grew up in 87. Or I was born in 87, so I grew up in the 90s. I believe sex, drugs, and rock and roll is the terminology. So this has been going on way longer than I have. And I'm pretty sure that if anybody wanted to bring up lyrics about smoking cigarettes and chewing tobacco and having sex, then that'd be a pretty easy thing to do. Now, true, if you do not want to hear this type of music, I'm sure you can change the station. If you don't want to say bae, I'm sure you can not say it. So it's not like we're just this generation of idiots that just listen to one thing. There's dozens, hundreds, thousands of options out there that you can listen to. Now, if it's being forced down your throat and this is all that you have to listen to on free and public radio, then you have to find your own source. Perhaps satellite radio would help you out, and you could find your own station that is closer to your own interpretation. But don't just think that all the music that this generation listens to is just this violent rhetoric of nonsense. Because I understand what you're saying. Yeah, there is a lot of it out there that I don't like and I don't care to listen to. So I tune that out and I listen to what I want to listen to. Let's continue.
Describe someone we love. And we idolize people like Kim Kardashian, and then we shame people like Tim Tebow. We're lazy, we're really entitled, and we want to make a lot of money and have free education, but we're not really willing to put in the work. We spend more time...
Okay. The Tim Tebow, Kim Kardashian thing, I'm pretty sure it's men and women older than us who are sportscasters, who are analysts and things of that nature, who is judging him, and it's people who are out there judging Kim Kardashian and accepting her and praising her who are older than us. So a lot of these things that you're saying are being shoved down our throats through the media. It's not like we just happen to agree with it. So, of course, if all you see is this praise Tim Tebow or praise Kim K, praise Kim K, praise Kim K, and then tear down Tim Tebow, then that's what you're probably going to end up doing. But I'll get to that later. That's the whole think for yourself type of thing. But, hey.
Time online making friends and less time actually building relationships.
That point I agree with. We spend way too much time online building fake relationships instead of building real relationships. A lot of people, and I myself am guilty of this, are so into their phone they refuse to see a beautiful day. They're so into their phone that they'll be on a date with the first time meeting an attractive person, or they're on a date with their loved ones and they're into their phones. It's always a matter of time. And I work in the restaurant industry, so I always see it. I always see people just always into their phones during a date. So I can agree with you on that. But don't judge us off of that. That's not us. I see older people do that as well.
Relationships appearance on Facebook is more valuable than the foundation that it's actually built on. Our idea of standing up for something we believe in means going on Facebook and posting a status with your opinion. And we believe the number of followers we have reflects who we are as a person.
See, now about that whole posting a status thing, there was once a time in Egypt, I believe it was Egypt during, the whole Benghazi thing, I believe, where the government had shut down all of the power, and the only way, before the government had shut down the power, the only way that the people and the youth, because we were the ones who knew how to use Twitter and Facebook and things like that, was to get their message out to the world, was to use social media. I'm just saying, that's just one example of how using this could be a positive thing and how we have used this in a positive way. And also, if you want to just say that this is all that we do, it's a lot of politicians right now in America pandering to Generation Y, the youth of America, or, the not so young of America, through social media, through Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all of that. You want to know why? Because our vote matters as well, and our opinion matters as well. So it's not just like this is all that we're doing is posting ratchet things. Maybe that's all you're following, and you need to stop following those people. Let's continue.
We don't respect our elders. We don't even respect our country. We're stepping on our flag instead of stepping up to volunteer. And we mock the men and women that are fighting for us.
People who step on the flag, that's not really cool. I agree with her.
We're more divided as a country than ever before. And I think our generation actually has a lot to do with that. Everything that used to be frowned upon is now celebrated. Nothing has value.
I don't think that it's necessarily our fault that our country is in the way that it is. It ain't got shit to do with us. That's old men and fucking old men who's pointing the finger and telling us what to do and running this country into the ground. This is bailouts and war on terror and recession and things like that. And I don't know anyone that mocks soldiers. Who makes fun of soldiers? No. I don't have a problem with soldiers. I respect them. You ever been shot at? That shit ain't cool. You ever been shot at from everywhere? Nah, bro, that's not where it's at. My problem is with those old people that's never been in a war, never been shot at, never been in a friggin' fist fight, telling hundreds and thousands of millions of people where to go and why to fight, and lying to them about it, and it being over a stupid cause. Let's continue.
We take advantage of everything. We have more opportunities to succeed than any of those before us.
That's true, we do.
Don't appreciate the opportunities we have now.
Some people
now I guess
don't.
I see why people call us Generation Y. Like, why are we so entitled? Because we don't deserve to be. And
that was clever.
I think that our generation, I always wonder what we're going to be remembered by. And I, for one, want to break that stereotype and prove that my parents raised me better. Don't you? To all of our elders, I'm sorry. And I do know that we were raised better. Thank you from this millennial for putting up with those and those who do not see wrong in their actions. I hope we start pulling our pants up and actually contributing to the society we love.
We should pull up
And
our
maybe make a
pants, though.
difference in
I don't understand that shit, and I don't
Make a
agree with it.
difference
That's some
in
stupid
future.
ass shit. So she had a lot of good points, but again, I believe that it is one-sided. For example, we were taught that if you go to school, you will succeed in life. But at the end of the day, you go to school to get a job, then you get a job to pay for school, and you end up being in debt for the rest of your life. So now it's this scary thing. Mind you, there was this big recession that hit, and pretty much my girlfriend went to school, graduated, and got out, and all of the jobs were gone. The economy hit, and this big, powerful recession destroyed the economy. This is during our generation. We had to deal with what an old man, someone in a previous generation, was doing, or what old men were doing, old greedy men. Let's not forget the Wall Street bailout. That ruined the economy as well. The recession ruined the economy. The war on terror ruined the economy. This is all that we had to go through. We didn't ask for this. So don't say that we're being entitled, we're being lazy, because we were the soldiers over there fighting that war. I have family who were stationed over there. I have friends who were stationed over there. That is not cool to say that we are all lazy and entitled. Because we had to clean up the mess. We had to deal with the shitstorm. We had to swim through the muck to get to where we are right now. So for someone to say that just because they saw a group of idiots or a group of rude people represents the entire generation is foolishness. And for it to get so many likes and shares and retweets because people agree that we're lazy when they are pandering to us for our attention is ridiculous, and I do not approve of this. So yeah, man, that's just something for y'all to think about. Peace.